Hi, it's me again with CorelDraw tips and tricks. I'm going to show you how to draw these patterns that you could make your own and make them whatever degree you want to, different variations. And for doing this, we're going to use the graph paper, which is underneath your polygon flyout. So let's go to the center of the page. And let's grab the graph paper tool. When you grab the graph paper tool, you get a number of columns and rows. We're going to go 20 by 20. I'm going to hold down the control button so it'll be a perfect square. And then I'm going to hit P and put it in the center of the page. Now, if you look, our dimensions are 21. So we're going to change it with our ratio locked. We just type in one number and we get 20. Now we need to make an ellipse, holding down the control button, make it 20 inches, and hit P. You can see that they match up on the corners, or at least the edges. Control D and make a duplicate and make the next one 18. Control D, Control D, Control D, Control D. Now, for me to make it easier, is I only want to look at a quarter of it at a time, so I'm going to take my virtual segment delete key, and this is the center line right here. So as long as I stay to the left of that center line and to the left of the bottom line, I just get a quadrant. Now I'm going to bring one of these in just for an example so I can kind of follow along. And you can see now it's a lot bigger than our graph paper. And you could make this your own. You don't have to follow mine. I'm going to use black this time, and I'm just going to start coloring in the black of the circle. And I'm going to get the bigger parts first, and then I'm going to go back and zoom in and grab the smaller. You have to get them all, every single one of them. Don't forget any little spot or it'll show up in your design. So just take your time. So the bigger spots are pretty easy. The little spots can cause you problems. And we're going to go almost to the edge with this. And you can change that. You could make it your own. You don't have to go by my pattern. So I didn't go quite to the edge, as you can see. I'm at the edge on one factor. So now I'm going to go down. And I'm going to go down just to one row. So I have some preparation. Whoop. And you'll know if you went too far. Smart Fill tool, fill that in. Smart Fill tool is making a new object. Now the only thing I wish I would have done before I started was to group everything together so I can delete my lines more easily. But it doesn't really have to be that way. We can get rid of the line. The graph paper is all one line. So now we're just going to start going uphill. Once again, I have to go back and get those smaller pieces. And like I said, you could do, 40 squares instead of 20. Just don't go to that. I mean, you could go to the edge, but we're not. We're going to go down and just making circles. Let's see how I did that last one. I went all the way to the bottom. And I went all the way to the edge. So there's my graphic. I don't have any leaks. Now I've got my nudge factor set on 20 inches, so it's going to move that out of the way. Holding down the Alt key with the pick tool and swiping through these lines, you'll get all the lines, and then hit delete. There's actually probably another line in there. Maybe not. Now what I'm going to do is weld this. I'm going to go up here and weld it. What that's going to do is going to give me this. Now I've got some really funky lines right there. I don't really know what causes that. If we grab the shape tool, as long as we don't grab our line, we can get rid of all those. It's just remnants of a tight bend, I guess. Now, if we do here, it'll probably get rid of that. No, it worked. Now, we don't really need to fill it in yet. I've got some funny nodes where those little pieces were. But because we're working to the center of the page, I want to bring in my indexing lines, and there's our center of the page. I'm going to Control D and make a duplicate, clicking on this X and bringing the rotation of that node. Double click it, make sure it's off, rotate it 90 degrees. Control D, Control D. Now here's where you can change it up, whatever you want to do. We're going to hit the plus key on the keyboard and make a couple of copies here so we can have different ones. Now this one, we could just take our virtual segment delete key and swipe through there, and then take our Smart Fill tool, fill that in. There's your design. This one, let's see what I did. I put a circle. I'm going to make a 4-inch circle. You could do any number probably. Control D and make a duplicate and make a 6-inch circle or a 2-inch circle. Now, if I wanted to, I could go to the center of the page, but it should snap right to that snap line. And now, see what I'm doing? You could change it up, and I'm actually going to do this one a little bit different. I'm just going to go through and do this. There's a line there. And you know what? Let's take away the 4-inch circle. See what, well, I'd already taken away that line on the indexing line. So let's just take away our circle, our 4-inch circle, and take away, let's take away the crosshairs. Now, we're going to have to fill these individually, but look at the look. We've got a middle circle there. We're going to grab it all, and I'm going to right-click No Outline. Now, the other one I did, that's kind of what I did there. But on this one, we're going to make that 4-inch circle again. And like I said, you could make anything you wanted. Any size, just make it even number. Tell you what, we'll just leave a 4-inch circle. And let's have it snap to that midpoint. Now this time, I'm going to take the virtual segment delete key. You know what? I am going to make another circle. Control D, make it a 2-inch circle. And now we can come in here and break this line. Like I said, you could, it's going to be kind of like, whoop, got a little bit off there. Well, let's go all the way around that circle. That'll make it a complete circle on the inside. I'm just taking the virtual segment delete. I'm going to get rid of my indexing line so I can see better. Now I can actually swipe through and get rid of the middle indexing lines. Take your Smart Fill tool. Well, I didn't delete one of the lines. Get your virtual segment delete key and delete that line. Smart Fill tool. And voila, you have 3 completely different patterns. You can still see the red tint, so I'm going to right-click No Outline. Pretty cool, pretty easy. Anyway, I hope that helped a little bit. Thank you for watching.